You are listening to Christian Audio's production of How Will the World End? And Other Questions About the Last Things and the Second Coming of Christ by Jeramie Rinne. This book is read by Jim Denison. This audio recording was produced in 2015 by Christian Audio, which owns the copyright. No portion of this recording may be reproduced for any reason without prior written consent from Christian Audio. This edition issued by contractual arrangement with the Good Book Company. Originally published in English as How Will the World End? And Other Questions About the Last Things and the Second Coming of Christ. Copyright 2014 by Jeramie Rinne. All rights reserved. Please visit christianaudio.com, facebook.com/Christian Audio, or twitter.com/Christian Audio to offer your impressions of this work and to explore additional titles. Introduction. Why is it all so complicated? It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel confused. Where were you when you first realized the world might end? I was a preteen, at home, watching television. I happened upon a program that dramatized what the Bible said would occur in the end times. Terrifying images crossed the screen: warfare, natural disasters, and, of course, grainy footage of atomic mushroom clouds. I can't remember what the show taught exactly, but I do remember that it scared me. My next brush with the apocalypse, end of the world, came as a teenager in a church youth group. We saw a film entitled A Thief in the Night. In it, an unfortunate young woman ignores her family and friends who urge her to follow Jesus. Suddenly, the true believers are whisked away in a secret rapture up to heaven, leaving her to face the horrific global tribulation, period of suffering, of the last days. On the one hand, the film stoked my curiosity. What would it be like? Millions of people disappeared all at once. But the film also made me nervous. Would I be one of the people who gets beamed up by Jesus before the world goes to pieces? Or would I be left behind? And then there was my youth leader. During a Sunday school class, he explained the biblical teaching about the end of the world using a timeline. Actually, it looked more like an electrical wiring diagram. There were arrows and boxes and symbols, all mapping out a complex cascade of final events, like the rapture, the 7-year tribulation, the millennium, and the white throne judgment. He introduced me to characters from the book of Revelation, like the beast and his sidekick, the false prophet, both of whom would serve the dragon by presiding over a one-world government that somehow featured Europe, Russia, and China quite prominently. This was after the beast was assassinated and then miraculously revived 3.5 years into the tribulation, of course. Like A Thief in the Night, that teaching had a contradictory effect on me. At one level, it intrigued me. It was like learning a top-secret code that suggested I could decipher the true meaning of current events. But the explanations and charts also confused me with their sheer complexity. Furthermore, how exactly did my youth leaders see those things in the Bible? The book of Revelation mystified me, but somehow he could make perfectly good sense of its apocalyptic visions. And on top of it all, that sense of dread and foreboding still seemed to haunt any discussion of the world's grand finale. 2 common reactions. In talking with followers of Jesus about the end of the world, I have found that many suffer from this same jumble of reactions that I experienced. Fascination mixed with confusion, tinged by fear. As a result, Christians tend to react in one of 2 ways to the question, how will the world end? Some, a minority it seems, respond by plunging headfirst into the deep end of the last day's swimming pool. They try to decode the Bible's strange visions, crunch the mysterious numbers, and draw the charts. These end-time experts understand the differences between terms like pre-tribulational and post-tribulational. They know which trib is correct and which Bible verses prove it. They track world events closely, especially events in the Middle East, and they can effortlessly relate those events.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?